So today we're going to talk about stitching a dense design on different fabrics at 8 a.m. and we're going to talk about this 12 Days of Christmas design set that went out last week. And so for this one, these are linens that I made. They're 100% linen with a decorative cotton trim that I sewed onto it with my sewing machine. And today we'll talk just real briefly about fabric choices and what's going on when you're stitching something. So we're kind of getting up nice and close. Let me stop the machine. Kind of close to this design, and when I'm designing things, I can kind of start to see, the little fibers that are in here. Now, mind you, this is my fingernail, and so you can see how tiny this little bird is that's going to stitch out. And the reason I tell you guys to stabilize well, this underneath, I have a Floriani that's hooped with it. And I think looking at this and this linen and the weave that's in the linen and how dense this little design is, I think I would probably run 2 pieces of Floriani stabilizer behind it just because of what I'm seeing. But when I put this in the hoop, I gave the hoop a tap and it sounded like a little drum. And so that told me I was nice and tight in the hoop. You don't go down firmly, otherwise you'll create a hoop burn right here on your corners. So you just lightly put your hoop down, and then you use the screws under here to tighten up. And if you get to a point that it's too hard to turn it, you grab yourself one of these tools, and that's what goes right into the side right there. So mind you, I'm in the hoop right now, but this just goes right in that little area, and you just give it a little turn, and that makes your hoop a little bit tighter. You're not going to get hoop burn if you go in nice and loose and then tighten it up while it's in the hoop. Anyway, so just looking at this design, I think my recommendation if somebody was going to stitch on a linen like this would be probably 2 pieces of cutaway. So that's the thing people need to realize is it's like a recipe. You got the design, which is one component. You got your tension, your stabilizer, your thread, your speed, your fabric of choice, your hooping technique, your machine. All of those different things affect the stitch out of a design. So when a designer designs a design, they can't reasonably design a design for felt and leather and a puffy Sherpa or a terry or any of those different components because they all stitch differently. Really, it's about your stabilization that's going to be key. And even your needle can affect it. So on this one, looking at the loose weave on this linen, I think I would run 2 pieces of cutaway behind it. So when you're doing a design, it's always important to test it on a similar fabric that you're going to do. So for this one, we'll let it continue to stitch out. It's looking beautiful. I love the bird. And this is 2 turtle doves is the one that it's stitching right now. And this is on the Brother NS1750D machine that Quality Sewing lent me for the 12 Days of Christmas demo that we're going to do on Saturday morning where we make our freebie design for that day.